Good morning, guys. We're gonna call it like it is in today's video. I'm just installing some poop pipes. That's it. Not quite a plumber yet. Just installing some poop pipes. So what I'm doing here is this was before the guys did their HVAC install, which I'll do an entire video on that. They're just waiting on getting the condenser hooked up, and then we'll do a video showing the install of that. But they told me, they're like, don't run any drain pipes. And I had to say, nope, I got to get my one poop pipe in first here, get this toilet in, because as you'll see in future clips, why I had to get this in before, because if I didn't, this would have been a complete pain in the butt to do. So we got our one poop pipe in there going right down to septic. One thing that you're going to notice that is kind of different with our system is that we've got both gray water drains and septic drains. So all the toilets obviously go out to the septic system, whereas the shower, the tub, and the bathroom sinks, they all go out to gray water. So we're going to be utilizing the water twice as opposed to just using it once. So in Arizona here, it is not only legal to do gray water, but is actually encouraged to do so, just because, hey, we live in the desert. We ain't got a lot of water or a lot of rain. A lot of water is wasted just through using it in irrigation. So the more that we can reutilize our water in this area here, the better stewards of the land we're going to be. And I like that kind of stuff. So you can see that they've got that air handler roughed in there, and trying to get that toilet drain over there would have been very difficult to do so after the fact. So I got that one in, and it created a nice space above the air handler to run some of my other drains and vents all the way up to the second story here. Now, one thing that the plumbers are going to tell or notice right away is that the sanities on my vent lines here, they are pointed in the wrong direction. I was like, oh no. A plumber on Instagram let me know. He's like, man, all your sanities are upside down. And I'm like, oh boy. But I did some research online about it. It's really not that big of a deal. It is a code violation, but the plumber was trying to tell me that somehow the vents aren't going to work as well. And I'm like, come on, man, it's still a T, right? Those vents are going to work just perfectly fine. Now I had to be a little creative with this, the vent from the master bathroom sink here. Trying to think about how to get it over to the, basically towards where our vent stack is. Was thinking about, you know, running it through the joist, but I noticed that the joists upstairs for the roof are running in the right direction. So I'm like, hey, let's send this vent all the way up to the roof. When I ran these drain pipes, you typically run it so that the drain pipe is going to be centered right where the vanity and sink is going to be. We actually changed the vanity design on this, so that's why my pipe coming up through the concrete isn't where it is. But we can still just use a sand-tee like that and center our drain where it needs to go. So people are always curious about whether or not you can drill through joists and stuff. When they engineer framing like this, they take into account that you're going to be drilling through it. So things are typically more oversized to code so that you can drill through it. That's only, you know, a 2-inch hole that I'm drilling through it, and that's a 14-inch glue lam beam. I think you can take upwards of 1/4 to 1/3 of the material out. Don't quote me on that. Check your local codes and stuff. But you can take out a good portion of it, and it's still good to go. One thing that you're going to note on our kitchen sink drain here is that I've got a 3-way valve. The reason why we got a 3-way valve is because it gives you the ability to either send the kitchen sink water out to gray water or to septic. Now this is actually a full-on code violation. You're not allowed to do this. Now the reason why we can do it is, hey, we're not getting inspected, so it's not going to be a problem here. But since Hannah and I were both plant-based and vegan, that just means that all the kitchen sink water, since it's just regular organic material, you can actually send it out to gray water. Once you're utilizing meat and dairy in the sink or in the dishwasher, you actually want to send that out to septic. So that's why I put that in there, is that heaven forbid I ever sell this house, which that's never something that I ever want to do. At least if we sell it, then the people can send the kitchen sink water to the septic system. So that's really the only main reason why it's there, just for future-proofing the system, I guess. Now I'm roughing in the sink drain for the half bath over here. And we've also got to run this drain up here to catch the sink at the wet bar. Oh yeah, we got a little wet bar going in. Gonna be good times in the house here. That was my goal, to hit the second story sink right from below, and I was able to get a 2-inch long sweep elbow in through the joist there and get it all glued up and set up how it should. I was kind of proud of that. I was like, yeah, I nailed it. So let's see how we cut through the foam and stuff. I found that the best way of cutting through the foam when I'm cutting out these chases here for the vent pipes is to basically use my level there, and then I put the pitch level on it as well, so that we're going up a 1/4 inch per foot on all of our horizontal drain lines. And what I do is I just set the basically the guard on the Sawzall to 3 inches, since we have 3 inches of foam, and then just basically slice right through it, and then just use a kind of like a pry bar to pop the foam out. And it's a very effective way of getting your plumbing pipes and stuff going through the foam. The more foam that you can get on the interior, it makes it easier. Like if you're doing ICF, it just makes it easier to get things through it. Now here's the second vent pipe going up for the other side of the home. Since we don't have an attic, it's just easier to run 2 separate vents up rather than trying to connect them somewhere in the middle of the house or something. I'd rather, have 2 protrusions through the roof than try to get a vent pipe all the way across, 40 feet through all the rafters and stuff. This actually seemed like it would be a little bit easier. All right, guys, so final look of the plumbing going on here. So this is the condensate line coming from this air handler here, and we have it going straight out to gray water. These units do not require a trap, but if we do need to add one, I do have some space there to do it. But we've got the drain for the tub there with the vent coming around, and that is the upstairs sink right there connecting with it, going straight out to gray water. This was a little bit different because we're doing septic and gray water, so we've got to separate our drain pipes here. Got that vent line straight up behind that joist there, no problem. So I snuck that vent line right behind the joist there. Boom, boom. Get it set up with our vent stack there. And like I mentioned in the video, the sand tees should be like that, set up like that. Other than that, guys, I thought I did a pretty good job for someone who is not a plumber. So it's easier to separate the vents in 2 sections, or 2 zones, I guess you could say. One on this side of the house, and then one on the other side over there. Oh boy, we're getting some water lines around here. And then we got that other vent going up there. Beautiful, beautiful. and this is actually just an access drain pipe here. So I'm tying this in with how we're getting basically the cell phone booster antenna. It's up on the roof there. So I was like, well, let's just run another drain pipe down, and then I have access down below. Then we got this vent coming up here, sneaking right up into there. It's kind of fun with running vent pipes and drain pipes, because you got to be creative with how you get it up and keep it hidden. And we got what we got going on in here, just with the small half bath. And on these lines here, I put some cleanouts up high, because in this ceiling here, I'm just going to do a drop ceiling as opposed to a drywall ceiling. So if I ever need to get some stuff in there, then we can. And that's where that second drain line's coming from the roof. So I can get a wire to and from the roof quite easily. Oh, we got some of the opener going. Whoop, whoop, whoop. We're moving right along, guys. Awesome. Thanks so much for watching. Catch you on the next video. Talk to you soon. Peace.